The bourbon boom is happening and it just keeps going up and up.
120 proof, like bomb shit.
Everything is now about barrel picks. What is the highest proof that you've ever brought out here?
I've been tasting this since I was 2 years old. True story. That's how my parents used to put me to sleep. I think I finished mine before yours.
I'm just sipping.
And I'm the driver.
Yeah. I'm not so much of a Peter fan like that guy.
They're there to please everybody. I'm not there to please everybody. A little bit of corn on the palate, which generally turns me off.
When now it's all about like who has the best barrel pick and just everybody's working together and collaborating.
You knew you had to wear pants though.
Hey, who are you?
You can't come to a barrel pick and be soft. People are gonna talk shit for sure.
Let's fucking go! LFG!
Today at San Diego Distillery, Jared and I are really checking out what they've got going on, especially seeing what Ryan is doing because he's still running LFG whiskey and he's also now a part of the San Diego Distillery group.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Good. Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you again, dude.
Glad y'all came out, man. You know, what I did with LFG, it was almost started as a hobby, and to really make it legitimate and do something that I could actually build a career upon, this was my obvious next step. Y'all ready to check this place out?
Hell yeah.
Let's fucking go. Come on, guys.
Hey, Eric, let's fire this thing up a little bit more.
We've got our still and our distillers back here, y'all. I want to introduce y'all.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Trent, Jared.
Hey, man, I'm Trent. I'm the founder of San Diego Distillery.
Yeah, good to meet you.
And head distiller, and head blender, and head bottler, and head janitor, and head anything that needs to possibly get done.
So what do you guys have going on here?
So we are distilling a chocolate banana stout that was a beer originally made by Bottle Logic.
What?
I mean, it's really crazy. Just tasting it now, there's all this chocolate, banana, a bunch of real funky esters that are on the nose. It's pretty tasty. One of the biggest things we're known for is that we distill a lot of beer and really weird beer and really fun things that nobody else really does. Do you guys want to try a little bit?
Sure.
And this is straight off the still.
This is straight off the still.
We're diving into it already, huh?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, get your little pour of this guy. There we go. There's a good little pour.
Get this guy gassed up.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's straight banana, chocolate.
Yeah. It smells so good.
It's just got crazy
It does.
beachy nose to it.
Dude, this is intense.
So much more banana than chocolate.
Banana pudding.
And alcohol.
And yeah.
A little bit
Strong
of
alcohol. It's 160 proof. Big shout out to Trent. He absolutely kills it on a still. He comes up with stuff that I would have never thought of, that I don't know anybody else that would have thought of it.
I mean, I've distilled almost every type of beer that exists, anywhere from like a lager to a pilsner to a peach sour to its big stouts, this funky chocolate raspberry one, this one here, chocolate banana. I don't know any other distillery that's even distilled a chocolate banana stout.
I'm a bourbon guy. I'm from Kentucky, born and raised. I've heard of a whiskey made from beer. I've never tried it though. So I'm really excited to see what it's about.
What beer generally gets like what flavor? Is there even a relationship there?
Yes, so distilling IPAs is this different program because of all the hops that are in an IPA. You know, hops are very closely related to cannabis. So actually you get a lot of that very traditional cannabis style aroma. Okay. A nice like lager. The grain really comes out and it turns into much more like a scotch. And then a big.
We're talking.
Yeah, see?
There you go. So this guy's more of a Scotch guy than a bourbon guy.
Well, we'll have to try some. We're really known for a peated whiskey that we make. The hops can be nice characteristic.
Get right to
I am a single malt Speyside Scotch man. I like bourbon too, you know. But yeah, Scotch is my thing.
You're the one distilling all this. Like, is that most of your day just manning this thing?
Yeah, you know, a run takes about 4 to 5 hours, so it's a chunk of an 8-hour day. But we also got 2 other distillers that actually work here too. Hey, Devin, Eric.
Come on over.
Devin was the first one that I taught all my tricks, and we've distilled a bunch of other crazy beers. And then we have Eric, who's now kind of our production manager, who's running kind of day-to-day operations. And I'm just recently started teaching him some of my distilling techniques. But so that's why all 3 of us are kind of the distilling team here. And that's what makes us, have a bunch of different opinions and that kind of stuff about what we're doing here.
Not enough of the craft beer community knows about what we do here, especially with craft beer. It's like bridging that gap between the craft beer drinkers and the spirit drinker.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Eric, is there anything that really stands out to you about what Trent's been teaching?
What I'm learning here is that everything is custom.
Okay.
Everything. But we also make some really cool stuff here that no one else is making.
Okay.
So
But
Eric
also-
comes from more of a traditional corporate sense. He's been at a couple other distilleries, but a lot bigger production than what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's learning our madness.
Yeah. Is there a method to the madness?
There's absolutely a method to the madness.
First thing I noticed when walking in here is just like how much you guys have packed into this warehouse. Like there's a lot going on here, so I don't know if we'll get through the whole tour today, but let's try to hit the next stop.
Ryan's going to show you some awesome stuff that we've got going on over here, and then later I think we're going to do a cool little tasting of some of our really specialty stuff.
All right.
Y'all ready to see some barrels?
Hell yeah, let's see the
Check 'em
barrels,
out.
Let's
man.
fucking go.
Show us the way. After you. Oh, right here, huh? Okay. All right. Cool. No, what do we got here?
All right, so one thing,
This one already stood out to me.
What's that?
Yeah.
The
Got
Willet?
some Willet here?
yeah, we got some cool Willet barrels
What's
for
that
sure.
about?
One of them is from a mead company here in town. They did a pomegranate mead, and we were given the barrel after they dumped their mead.
Oh, wow.
And I finished an 18-year-old Canadian rye in that mead barrel.
Whoa.
And I'm doing some cool projects of finishing some other types of bourbon in their barrels, just because Willet's such a big name. Everybody loves Willet Distillery. Since coming here, the distillery itself has been like a dream come true. Like so much I've worked towards and just thought of and wanted to do in this industry has been able to come to life since we took over at the distillery. So this is one thing I added to the distillery. It was a sourcing program. To this point, they had only used their own distillate. Everything that we'd put out had been stuff that we had made here in-house.
So what are some of the most interesting barrels that you guys have sourced and are working?
We've got Bardstown Bourbon Company bourbon right here. It's up and coming out of Kentucky, but they're relatively new. I think they are only 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
So they don't have barrels that are 10, 12 years old yet. We have tons of MGP. We've got MGP rye, MGP bourbon in 3 different ages, and MGP light whiskey.
Okay.
And then as Chaz pointed out, we have Willet barrels. These are filled with our own bourbon, our own specialty spirits. We've also got Buffalo Trace barrels, which are actually Stag Junior barrels.
Oh, wow.
We've got OZ Tyler. It's called Green River Distillery now, but when those were made, it was still OZ Tyler. And then you see on the wall the barrels that say Bliss.
Yeah.
Those are all from a maple syrup company. So those were barrels of originally Elijah Craig 18-year Kentucky bourbon.
Really?
That was, as soon as the bourbon was dumped, was sent to this maple syrup company, and they finish a maple syrup as a bourbon finished maple syrup. But then we reuse that barrel again. So
Yeah.
then we are finishing a bourbon in that maple syrup.
This guy knows a thing or two about syrup.
Oh yeah, growing up in New England. Got it, straight out the teat as a baby.
I love maple syrup finishes. Out of all the finishes you can do, I feel goes the best with bourbon. And when I saw that they had 6 of those available, I just jumped at it. We make these barrels our own. We're using other distillery source product, but there's ways we can kind of take ownership of it, from staving, blending, rebarreling. The heat we get here in Spring Valley, San Diego, California is a lot different than what they're getting in Indiana and Kentucky.
I want to ask you about that, right? Because when I think of SoCal, I think of surfing for Christmas. The temperature differential is what brings the flavor out. How is that here in this climate?
So Trent actually chose this location because of that. It gets the biggest temperature differentials of anywhere in San Diego County.
Really?
So you are getting some variance in here.
Very cool.
So y'all have seen the still, you've seen the distillation process. The next part of kind of our production, we bottle and label here on site by hand. We don't have an automated machine that does all
Is
that.
there a second floor for that? Where do you do that?
No, we do that right here. Where
Right
we're
here?
sitting. Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just gonna bring in our labeling setup and get to
Very cool.
labeling.
Let's do it.
So this is our bottling and labeling crew.
Cool. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Thanks for coming by.
Eric here, he holds down all the production, as you see. He's in here 5 days a week. Adam and Chris are 2 of our biggest fans, but they come and help out in any way possible that we need. And as you see, we do everything by hand. All the bottling, all the labeling, all the corks, all the shrink wrap, everything is done individually.
Some real manual labor here. How long
Looks
does that
really
take?
cool.
Give or take, I'd say it takes 2 hours to do a full barrel of 200 bottles.
Why do you guys choose to do it by hand?
One day we hope to have a full bottling line and have machines that do all this, but they're pretty expensive.
Plus, you can call us handcrafted, right?
Definitely leads more to the craft aspect of what we do here.
Ryan, is there anything new that you brought to the table as far as branding and bottling and labeling here?
One of my partners, he does have a branding supply chain management company, and he actually makes all of our labels. So this gold shiny special effect on the labels, the spot gloss, kind of raised texture, all this is something unique that we've just started doing.
It looks to me kind of like the artwork that you guys do, like from the groups into what
So
you
the
guys
guy
do
that
now?
used to do all my stickers for my original LFG whiskey group, the cartoonist, did this label for us.
Yeah, I figured it was him.
This is an old picture of a buddy who actually came up with the original blend of this.
Okay.
And he had a picture of him with this old school Trans Am that we turned into a cartoon for the label.
Okay. What's his name?
His name's
Okay.
You know what this reminds me of is like a collectible. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't even want to drink it because I just wanted to display it in my office or in my home.
It's one of the only bottlings we do right now where we do the glass corks.
No shit.
Trent used to do them on a lot of his specialty stuff. They're pretty expensive. So I really wanted to bring them back. It just looks so clean with the glass cork, in my opinion.
Yeah. Kind of looking like Pablo Escobar over here.
That's from his real picture. That's what he really looked like back in the day.
All right.
Really? Yeah. Are you guys just drinking from the bottles here? What's going on here? Are we getting on the job?
We're sampling the Cali Gold High Rye.
Oh, is this for us? Just take-
Oh, man.
That's fantastic.
That's good.
That's so good.
Wow.
That's rich.
That turned out really good. When I'm working a lot of the time, I mean, one of the favorite parts for sure is tasting whiskey every day. Like, it doesn't feel like work. This has been a big hit. This is one of our most popular bottles to date.
Yeah, it's really good.
And they sell out pretty much instantly. It's pretty wild how fast they go.
I can see why. It's still kicking.
It's not just a clever title. That's rich. Well, cool. I think I finished my orders.
I'm just sipping.
And I'm the driver.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it.
I guess I'm just greedy or an alcoholic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Man.
Can I get another pour?
Yeah, actually, we just pulled some maple syrup barrels. That you
Oh,
guys should
yeah?
really try.
Oh, did y'all try those?
We haven't tried them yet.
I haven't had this yet.
The stuff you're
We've been
talking
waiting to try these barrels.
This is what you were talking about earlier, right?
It is.
Okay.
You know what? Honestly, think we should do a release of that for the distillery. Would y'all like
Yeah.
to join us for a barrel pick?
Seriously? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Dude, of course. Yeah.
Let's pick a barrel, y'all.
A barrel pick. When I hear that, I'm getting excited because I'm all about that. Maple flavored barrel. We're going to be drinking a lot more whiskey in 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm not driving now.
Well, as soon as these guys are finished bottling here, I think we need to get all these maple barrels down and draw samples from each and set up a barrel pick.
Oh, yeah.
But while they're getting that set up, I know Trent wanted to do some sampling with you all and show you all some of his special creations.
Oh my God, more whiskey.
If you want to check that out, let's do it.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Let's fucking
sounds
go.
good.
Welcome to our speakeasy and bar here at San Diego Distillery. This is really a great event here. Trent, who created all these spirits you see in front of you, he's going to tell you a little about them.
All right, so the first one we're going to start with is this really awesome rum made from mostly molasses and brown sugar. It was done in a Jamaican style, but this was also aged in an ex-agave, actually tequila barrel from Jalisco, to give it a little bit of a tequila note on it. And the proof is 110 proof.
The rum's surprising. It's really good. It's unlike any rum I've ever tried.
You do just get a slide of agave on the finish.
A tiny little bit.
For me, most tequila that I've had tastes like it's been aged for 1 year in a pair of shoes you'd rent at a bowling alley.
This spirit is really unique. It's called Como Rebi, and Como Rebi means the light that shines through trees in a forest.
I love that.
You know, and that's why I named the spirit that, because that to me is actually how this tastes. It has this beautiful light, and I mean, effervescent, great, perfect description, but a very nice, light, easy to drink spirit. But it still rises a grain, so it becomes a whiskey.
The rice is really light. It's really nice, a lot of floral notes, really soft on the palate, and it kind of reminds me of soju a little bit.
And I just love this stuff. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the rice is one of my favorite things to make, and I think we're down to 1 bottle left on the shelf, so maybe some.
I'll take it. Oh, wait. Wait, I totally gave my hand away.
Next one up is one of Trent's specialty creations here.
This is a distilled peanut butter milk stout from a really well-known brewery here in town. This is just a very unique, everybody knows the very sweet peanut butter whiskey that overtook the world in the last few years. Screwball is a great spirit. I really like it.
That's
actually.
what came to mind. Yeah.
I think it's great. It drinks really well, but to me, it's a touch sweet. So take the sweet out of Screwball and up the proof by 3 times, and that's what we have here.
3 times? Peanut butter is really strong. It even feels like there should be peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
Who's ready for?
This next one coming up right here.
Who's ready? Okay.
It's not technically a tequila because we distilled it and aged it here in San Diego. To be a tequila, it has to be aged in Jalisco, but it is an agave spirit. Everything about it would be a tequila if it was made and aged in the right place.
I mean, I wouldn't even use tequila as paint thinner because I'd be afraid the paint cans would get diarrhea and get all over the place. I'm not a fan of tequila.
You all are in for a treat right here.
Tequila is not for me.
Sure. This is not Grandpa's Cuervo.
Okay.
This is a whiskey drinker spirit. So this is something that I think that may change your mind on some of that.
I'll be the judge of that.
And people always ask me about the name on this, on what Sancha is, and Sancha is slang in Spanish for like my side piece.
Okay.
Well, as a whiskey guy, tequila has always been my side piece. I probably drink more tequila than anything else that I normally drink. It's pretty much my go-to.
Really?
It's not your side piece anymore. She's become your main gal.
Okay.
To be quite honest, yes.
Another thing's a little bit different about it. It's 110 proof. Most
Yeah.
tequilas you see are going to be around 90,
Yeah.
80 to 90,
Yeah.
and this is a lot stronger than most tequilas.
But so as somebody who didn't like tequila, wasn't your favorite spirit, what do you think?
I'm not gonna bullshit you. Like I was prepared to just like sip it and move on, but this is probably the best tequila I've ever had in my life. I hate to admit it, but this was really good.
And we'll probably never be able to duplicate this again. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. Really?
And this is an upcoming release.
Yeah. Yeah, it's special.
Yeah, this is my Sancha.
I'll take Sancha as my side piece now, for sure. Sorry, honey. It's just whiskey.
Okay, do you want to talk about the next one?
When I first moved to California 7 years ago, first Bottle Logic beer I ever had was a Byzantine Vision, and fell in love with it, fell in love with the brewery. The beer ended up getting recalled because there was re-fermentation going on from a yeast strain that was formed because of the nuts that had been used in the aging process of the beer. Really? All the Byzantine that was recalled, we got it on pallets and bottles, and we dumped it, distilled it, and then it's been sitting on the wall for about 3 years. Waited another year of letting it age because we figured it needed at least 4 years in the barrel. Tasted it. One of the barrels really had the nuttiness come through. 2 of them didn't so much. We decided to blend all 3 barrels, and then we finished it, literally steeped it with the same nuts and honey that the beer had been made with. We then put it back into a bourbon barrel, added a couple gallons of bourbon, and then let it finish in this new bourbon barrel for another 6 months.
Damn.
And so this was honestly 7 years in the process.
So, just to walk through this, what is the notes that you get just on the aroma on this? Because it's absolutely nuts.
I get hazelnut specifically.
Okay. This used 3 different types of
Pistachio?
notes. Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Wow. There's one more nut. And I don't know anybody who's actually
Is it a
using
real
nuts.
nut or is it a legume?
It's a It's a real nut. It's a real nut.
Okay. I just want to know.
I was gonna say walnut. I don't know.
Bingo.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Holy shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and you guys absolutely nailed. I can't believe we got all 3 nuts right off the bat. You guys absolutely crushed it on that one. Super tasters over here.
Holy shit.
Man, I'm feeling great.
Every year, there is a meeting in LA called the Peatin' Meetin', and it is the largest festival of peated whiskey in the US. So I import all the peated malt directly from Scotland. It comes from two different places. We do all the fermentation, distillation, and aging here, of course, too. But so when you bring this right to your nose, we'll go back to doing our tasting. This is not a spirit for the faint of nose, heart, mind, or anything else.
If you want, I'll taste it for you. You don't even need to taste it. I'll take it. Yeah.
Jared from Boston and his Scotch-Irish roots, which I'm not so much of a peated fan like that guy.
This one is pretty good. I've been tasting this shit since I was 2 years old. True story. That's how my parents used to put me to sleep.
So, what do you guys get out of this?
Definitely smoky.
Mm-hmm.
Like logs on a fire smoky.
Pepper and berry is like my favorite combo in Scotch, and
So
this has it.
So I think that's the end of our tasting. I showed you our 6 things, but you know, the rice and the Byzantine, those work really well together.
I can see that.
I'll take it all.
They work really
Deep and complex and then light.
Yeah.
So what about a suicide of all 6?
Looking back on the day here at San Diego Distillery, they welcomed us with open arms, let us taste the best of the best. It really blew my mind in a lot of ways.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh wait. Well, if you're not gonna...
You got water. It's okay.
I'm fucking great. I'm full of whiskey.
Y'all ready for your first barrel pick?
And now we're gonna be part of a barrel pick.
Let's do it.
LFG.
That's really good.
We've got a great crew here. I know we're gonna pick a killer barrel. Randy here is just a bourbon connoisseur. He's known in our underground bourbon world as just having one of the best collections.
So pretty much everyone here at the table has had the best bottle except for us two, right?
We're gonna find it.
Okay.
Don't worry.
We're gonna find it. We've got 5 samples. All of them been finished in maple syrup barrels. And this is gonna be the next release from our distillery.
I think I smell maple.
Randy's gonna do a horse race with his glasses over here.
This one's a nose in front of number 3 and a full length in front of number 2. The finishes real quick.